Man, I gotta tell you, I'm so proud of this guy right now. I am beyond proud of this guy right now. Steel Sermon in the house. 2023, everybody. You guys having a happy new year? Well, I am right now. Do me a favor, new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe. I got a Instagram. Post in the box down below. I'm not using Twitter anymore. Just filled with a bunch of toxic morons. But man, I gotta tell you, I'm so proud of this kid tonight. And he is he is the quarterback of this franchise right now. Big Ben, you're the greatest quarterback to ever lace up for this franchise and go out there and play. But right now, this kid is doing a real good imitation of you. 16 of 13. We get it done over the Baltimore Ravens at the bank. And as dumb as it is, our playoff hopes are still alive. We're 8-8 on the season. Any other regular 16-game season, the season would be over. We still got one more game to go. We head on home to play the Cleveland Browns next week. A game that there's a 50-50% chance that I will be going to. But let's talk about this one. It looked like it was going to be another ordinary Steeler game for this year. You know, flat offense, one good drive that we had to start the game, resulted in a field goal. Should have been a touchdown, but penalty pushed us back, and that really killed the momentum. And then the defense stood up in the first quarter, stopped the run pretty effectively in the first quarter. I mean, J.K. Dobbins was just running into wall after wall after wall in the first quarter. But the Ravens eventually adjusted. They incorporated the delayed handoffs. They incorporated the read options and the halfback draws. And J.K. Dobbins was soon gashing us right up the middle, left and right. There was one play on a 1st and 15 where he got all 15 yards on a carry. And before you know it, the Ravens were ahead 10-3 at halftime on a terrible, and I mean absolutely terrible call by the officials. I'm not complaining too much about it, but how are you going to call a personal foul, unnecessary roughness on Cam Hayward on the bottom of the pile where he's trying to get up and he gets pulled down by a Ravens offensive lineman? How is that unnecessary roughness? I mean, these guys can't do anything anymore. Terrible call. And then the Ravens get a touchdown the very next play. And I do mean the very next play. But that would be the only touchdown that this defense would give up all night. Tyler Huntley, I think, found Mark Andrews in the end zone. And it was 10-3 Ravens at halftime. But the real reason that we were trailing much of this game, while that call was absolutely bogus, it was an absolute soft call, Charmin ultra soft call, no doubt about that. The real reason that we were trailing much of this game were the misuses. Cam Sutton drops an easy interception. He dropped another one down the final phases of the game. You see it when stuff like Mason Cole gets bullied by the Ravens pass rush, and he gets knocked backwards and results in Najee Harris missing a hole. You see it when Chris Boswell misses a 48-yard field goal. You see it when George Pickens runs out of bounds on his route. He still made a great grab to convert a first down. The problem is it was illegal touching. He stepped out of bounds. And then you see it when Deontay Johnson makes a sensational catch in the fourth quarter, but his toe drags out of bounds. And Kenny Pickett, should have thrown an interception. And Kenny Pickett also ran right into a pass rush and got sacked. Those are the only two things that I'm going to say bad about Kenny Pickett in this game. He didn't play amazing tonight. He really didn't. But guess what he did? He stepped up when it mattered the most. He really did. Remember, I keep saying all season long, I kept saying this all season long, and a lot of my subscribers can vouch for me when I say this. Does Kenny Pickett have it? Well, you know what, folks? Yes, he does. The Steelers are down 13-9 because Tomlin decides to yet again go for another field goal and live in his fears like he always does. When a touchdown ties the game up. But if the reason that we kicked the field goal is because Tomlin trusted the defense, then hey, all the power in the world to him. And TJ Watt got another sack, by the way. 1 turnover on the night for the defense. And it was because Minkah Fitzpatrick picked off Tyler Huntley with about 12 seconds left in the game to seal up the game and finish it off. Minkah Fitzpatrick, a guy who's been pretty much ghost for the majority of the season. And he comes up with an interception at the most crucial moment of the game. Najee Harris, phenomenal night for him. By far the best game he's had all season. 22 carries, 111 yards on the ground for Najee. He was finding holes. He was bulldozing linemen. He was making plays. He was getting big chunks of yards. He was being physical. And he was helping out his quarterback even too. You want to know why? Because on 3rd and 1 in the fourth quarter towards the Ravens' red zone, Kenny Pickett sneaks for a first down. And he was running nowhere until Najee Harris gives him a big old bear hug. And he propels him forward for the first down. Teamwork. Absolute teamwork. Najee Harris is developing into quite the team player. And you saw it in the interview too. When the reporter asked him about his great night, he did have a great night. 22 carries, 111 yards, like I said. Phenomenal night. But the very first thing that came out of his mouth I guess I was just finding holes and I just did what I needed to do. No. The very first thing that Najee said is that he gave all the props in the world to his offensive line. And the O-line did deserve a lot of credit tonight. Run blocking's been very shaky all season, but they sure blocked for him tonight. They sure gave him a lot of holes tonight, with the exception of a couple of plays. You know, big round of applause to the offensive line. They did their frickin' job tonight, without a doubt. George Pickens, another highlight reel catch. Pat Freiermuth with a couple of nice catches. But like this video centered around, when the game was on the line and the quarterback, it was his game to lose, he didn't lose it again. He won it again. Kenny Pickett is the quarterback of this franchise. He really is. That video that I put out a couple weeks ago saying we should shut down Kenny Pickett rest of the season, I was wrong. And I'm glad I was wrong. Because even though I still don't expect us to make the playoffs, okay? Let me be clear with that. I don't expect us to make the playoffs. I think Buffalo can beat the Patriots. Iffy about the Dolphins and Jets game because we need Miami to lose that game. And I'm even kind of iffy about next week against Cleveland because they're starting to play better. So I don't anticipate us making the playoffs. Okay? Let me get that clear. But these final 2 games are about Kenny Pickett's development. And this guy, all he's developing is a winning pedigree. We're down 4 points in the fourth quarter. We're down 10 points in the fourth quarter this time. We're down 13-3 in the fourth quarter. Kenny Pickett did exactly what he did last week against Vegas. Rallied the troops, put the team on his back, put together an amazing drive, a couple of monster throws to Pat Freiermuth in an incredibly tight window, and an absolute laser blast to Steve Sims. And then the cherry on top, something that you would have seen from Big Ben when he was my age. Kenny Pickett takes the snap. He's facing pressure, rolls to his left, shakes off a tackle, shakes off a sack. And his first instinct, he was looking to his right. Wasn't the best option. looks immediately to his left. He sees Najee in the end zone, rifles at them. Najee catches it. Boom! Game winner. Kenny Pickett won the game for us, man. He won it again. He won it for us on Franco Harris night, and he won it for us again in back-to-back weeks. I absolutely trust this guy if we need a fourth quarter comeback. He's done it 4 times this year. And hey, you know, I'm not one to speculate, okay? I'm not one to sit down here and go like, well, shoulda, woulda, coulda, you know? But I'm starting to believe more and more that if Kenny Pickett didn't get concussed against the Ravens in the first matchup with them, I really do believe we could have swept these guys. Because again, it's not a given that we would have won the first game in Pittsburgh against them because we couldn't get the run game going, and Mitch Trubisky's just an absolute trash can who threw 3 interceptions. He gave the game right to him. But I think we would have had a much better chance to beat him if Kenny Pickett didn't get concussed. This guy's a winner. I want all you Mitch Trubisky fans who absolutely refuse to give Kenny Pickett any credit at all. You guys know who you are. You crucified me on Instagram early in the season when Kenny Pickett threw 3 interceptions against the Jets when he was thrust in, not even expecting to play. You crucified me after the Philly game, and you crucified me after the Dolphins game, saying he's not the guy. Oh, he's a bust. Oh, he stinks. We should dump him. Where are you guys at now? What do you guys say now? Since that Philly game, he has only turned the ball over once. Does he make some rookie mistakes? Yes, he does. But here's the thing. He's a rookie. He's learning. And he is for sure learning how to take this team, put it on his back, and win us some damn games and keep our season alive. What do you got to say about that? Oh, Mitch Trubisky would have done that easily. Oh, are you sure about that? Makes me laugh. Kenny Pickett's a winner. He's a baller. And whatever you want to do to diminish his ability, whatever you want to do, and whatever you want to say to diminish the fact that he has 4 fourth quarter comebacks this year, you're just in complete denial. And you know that you are. He led us to a win against the Saints. He led us to a win against the Colts. He led us with that comeback against Vegas, and now he's led us to one against Baltimore, a team that clinched a playoff spot coming in this game, and he is the quarterback of a team who is desperate for wins. And now our season's going to come down to the wire because he kept our season alive. He finds ways to win. Like I said, you can have a quarterback that goes out there every single game, throws 350 yards, 400 yards, 5, 6, maybe 7 touchdowns like Peyton Manning did on opening night in 2013 against the Baltimore Ravens. You can have that kind of quarterback absolutely win you some money in your fantasy and put some points on the board in your fantasy. That's great too. But at the end of the day, if you ask me what kind of quarterback I want for my team, I want a quarterback who is tough. I want a quarterback who is mentally right in between the ears, who likes playing under pressure, who likes playing with the heat, who likes playing from behind, and will find a way to win you a game. That's the kind of quarterback that Big Ben was, and that is the kind of quarterback that Kenny Pickett is. And you know that he is. He's clutch. He comes through when he needs to. Look at the O-line that he has. Look at the targets that he has. You can't say that he's carried by his receivers because who's his best receiver? George Pickens? Deontay Johnson, who had a couple of nice grabs tonight, by the way. Hopefully he's okay. He was favoring his leg at some point in the game. So hopefully he's okay. Pat Freiermuth? Seriously, who's his best target? This is why, if we're committed to this guy being our franchise quarterback, we have to nail this coming draft and find us a receiver. Granted, I still think Calvin Austin can be a really good player for us when he's healthy, but Kenny Pickett needs a true, defined number one receiver, which is why if a guy like Jordan Addison is still available in the draft, you can't pass on him. As much as I would love a left tackle or a left guard on that O-line with our first pick, Jordan Addison's still there, I'm grabbing him. I'm grabbing him and running. Plain and simple. Kenny Pickett's a winner. He is doing everything that he can with the limited weaponry that he has. And he is my freaking quarterback. Straight up. He is my damn quarterback. We get it done. 16-13 over the Ravens. I don't care if we only beat them by 3. Anytime we beat the damn Ravens, I'm happy. Because I can't stand them. And as a matter of fact, I wouldn't mind playing these guys in the playoffs. If we make the playoffs, I wouldn't mind running into these guys. It's probably not going to happen, but I wouldn't mind running into them in the playoffs. And that'll do it for this video. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. Links are posted in the box down below. This is Steel Sermon. Checking on out for the night. May God be with you all. God bless Kenny Pickett.